What happens after 90 seconds?
Don't want to stay.
Talk to Me is a brand new horror movie. Actually, technically, it came out in 2022, brand new to the vast majority of the world. It came out just recently, and it was created by two YouTube brothers, both Danny and Michael Filipino, I believe. I'm sorry if I totally butchered that, but also the main actor is played by Sophie Wilde, and her character Mia is just so phenomenal. This whole film is just so absolutely phenomenal. However, I have a pretty big issue with this movie. The fact that it was just so well crafted that it mentally scarred me. It was that good of a movie. Once I left the theater on my way home, just everything about the atmosphere in my head and everything around me, it just changed. It felt dreamlike. It felt like I was stuck. I didn't have control. And this movie, taking away that control from me, it just kind of ruined everything for me that night. I wanted to talk about this movie as soon as I could, but it's now taken me 24 hours to get over the experience that I experienced during this movie Talk to Me. And now I'm still kind of feeling the way I've been feeling. I feel disillusioned. I haven't felt this way since I watched A Ghost Story. Any kind of movie that makes me question life, that makes me question what's next. I love that feeling. What I don't love is the feeling of not having control anymore. The fact that this movie was able to do that and take it away from me and strip me down to my raw emotions. Personally, I don't want to be talking about this movie, but I'm going to put on my big boy shoes and discuss this film with you. Talk to Me is essentially about this group of teenagers. They are experiencing this fascinating high based on communicating with the dead, spirits, essentially. And it's a little creepy that they actually find this as something to be okay with. And the way that it goes about, it feels so realistic, it feels so natural, and again, it just feels so raw. This movie, it feels like I actually know these characters. It feels like this is something that you would see in the real world. Usually movies like this that involve supernatural elements, I'm already taken out of the movie. I am done. Like, I completely believe that this is just a film, it's just a story, it's just a craft. But this movie, for some whatever reason, with all the supernatural elements, still lured me into its grasp. And I was frightened. I couldn't breathe. I was terrified. I wanted to leave the theater watching this movie, but not because it was bad, because I just felt like with every passing scene, I couldn't control myself, what I was doing. It was such a weird out-of-body experience. I'm honestly kind of terrified talking about this movie. I feel like I'm definitely over-exaggerating some things here, but at the same time, I'm really not. This is genuinely how I feel. And this movie, it's amazing. This movie is genuinely amazing. For what it did to me, I wasn't ready for it. And I think if I ever do watch this movie again, I'm gonna try to be ready for it. Like, just the thought of rewatching this movie kind of freaks me out. That's how genuinely terrified I was of this film. And some people who aren't scared by this movie, I feel like they just don't look at the context behind the film, especially with the opening act and Mia's decision with a wild animal on the side of the road and how that really plays into the finality of this film. And then how that plays into this endless cycle of just craziness that unlocked something in my brain and made me so fearful of just the unknown. I don't know if you can tell, but like I'm getting goosebumps on my arm. My arm hair is sticking up literally. Overall, I think this is a very powerful film. I highly recommend it for those who are emotionally mature enough to handle it. Because there are decisions in this movie that make you question if these characters are even emotionally mature enough to be in this film. And you kind of have to look past it and say, yeah, these characters, they're still in a growing period. They're still kind of learning. They're still a little immature. They're going to make some really, really bad decisions because they don't understand the consequences. They don't know what's to come. What these two YouTubers did was change cinema, for me at least, if not hopefully the rest of the world, forever. You may go ahead and look at the trailer, go look at the plot synopsis. You might be laughing at me watching this review. But I think that's what really fascinates me the most about filmmaking, is a movie that someone may completely hate. I don't know, let's say like the Demeter, The Last Voyage of the Demeter. Lots of people were very bored and put off by that movie, but I loved the enriching characters, the interactions, the words spoken, and learning from those characters in that downtime. I thoroughly enjoyed that. Whereas here, I'm also kind of curious how people feel about this movie, and I'm genuinely interested in watching other reviews now that I've seen this and now that I'm able to talk about it, because this movie is it ripped me apart. And I want to see how people are reacting to a movie that did that to me. And other than the main actor's performance, Sophie Wilde's performance as Mia, I actually really enjoyed everyone's performance here. She was just a huge standout. Everyone else did a amazing, phenomenal job. And some of the characters, I just thought to myself, they're going to annoy me. Their maturity is so low and so stupid, and I just don't want to follow these characters. But as you grow with them, as you experience the story as they do, you kind of get a better understanding of them as characters, and you start to care about them. And so what proceeds on with especially this family unit, you just genuinely are terrified with them and for them at the same time. You just kind of feel helpless watching the story unfold, and it just goes to some very dark places, and I love that this film tackles that. This film tackles a lot of emotional trauma, a lot of mental illness situations, and it goes to, again, just some very deep, dark places, and I'm just very genuinely excited to see films at this caliber be discussing topics like this. What I find that this film does amazing is that it balances the realness, the horror, and the comedy so well. And I saw an interview with the YouTube creators saying that they were very worried that the humor wasn't gonna resonate well, especially with American audiences. There were so many scenes I cracked up at. I don't laugh a lot during movies. I can smirk, I can smile, I can be like, yeah, but this movie genuinely made me bust out loud sometimes. Look, at the core of things, this movie is overly simplistic. What really draws the viewers in is the emotions presented on screen, the journey that these characters embark on. It is not your normal supernatural or even just a horror movie. This is something that I think redefines an entire genre, something that redefines the entire, I'd say, almost even filmmaking process. At the end of the day, I definitely did enjoy this one, and I really hope that people who experience this film also themselves enjoyed it. This film goes into some weird places, but it's definitely a watch worthwhile. Guys, thank you so much for watching my review of Talk to Me. I was very worried about talking about this movie, but now after just letting it all out, releasing the floodgates, I feel a little bit more comfortable being able to talk about this, and I just feel a lot happier doing so. So guys, again, thank you so much. If you guys enjoyed today's video, be sure to leave a like. It does help out the YouTube algorithm so much. Leave a comment down below letting me know what you guys think about this film. Are you guys going to go check it out? Have you seen it? What do you guys think about it? I'm really genuinely interested in hearing everyone's thoughts and opinions. If you guys want to see some more movie reviews, be sure to click on this video or this video right here. Otherwise, my name is Austin, and I will see all of you in the next one. Take care.